What did you make of that performance, and would you stick with Mourinho? Is he to blame for that?
I don't think we should stick with him. I feel the club needs like a little bit of a lift right now. So I think, you know, it's time for him to go now.
I think that's the lift that the club actually needs in terms of just get Jose out.
Yeah, get him out, because it's not like that he's a bad manager saying Jose Mourinho out. I don't think he's a bad manager. You know, he's come in, you know, when we were poor, we were all a little bit of a laughing stock, you know. I remember playing West Ham at Upton Park in the FA Cup, yeah, and every time they sort of attacked, you know, you feel, you know, in your stomach it's not good. But, you know, he's brought back a little bit of something to the club, and I think we should, you know, respect him for that. But for now, I think he should go, and I feel like the board need to make a massive decision, you know, in terms of how to bring the club forward, take it forward, get the club back, because, you know, the likes of, you know, Ryan Giggs, I feel like we need to go down that route.
Someone who knows the club. Well, we've got Carrick, who's there in the coaching staff. Some people say, do you know what, he'll do a better job. I know he's never had a job before, but just going on what you're saying about someone who understands what the club's about.
Yeah, I'd give it to Carrick and McKenna for till the end of the season, maybe till the end of next season, because I feel like with Giggs, we need to start talking to him now. We need to plan. You know, we've seen with clubs like City, they've planned with Pep Guardiola. That's the fruits of a good plan. And for us, we're seeing the fruits of panicking. Like we've seen getting Mourinho was a massive panic and stuff like that. So I feel like we need to contact Giggs now. You know, talk to Giggs, tell him that we'll get your players in. You know, we'll talk to a couple players, and when you come in, you get us up and running first straight away. And I feel like for the next 2 years, we might have to take a back seat, you know, to the other big clubs, and that might mean
we're already in the back seat at the moment.
Yeah, it might mean, you know, Liverpool winning the league, you know, City winning the league.
But you just said the unthinkable there. I mean, they're the sorts of things that imagine that happens on Jose's watch. You know, Liverpool challenging for the league, winning it. City with Champions League. You know, they're all these teams, our biggest rivals, are kicking on. Whilst we're not even staying stagnant, we're actually regressing.
Yeah, I know it's easy for the board to panic. I think it's easy for them to panic and, you know, get a Zidane. But I don't think that's the way forward, because it looks a little bit like Mourinho. You know, it's a massive panic to get Zidane in because I've won three Champions Leagues on the trot. I think that's a panic. I think we need to go. You know, look at Derby. You know, they've got Lampard. You know, what's Lampard's pedigree apart from scoring goals in the Premier League as a midfielder? You know, I feel like
so take the shot in the dark.
Yeah, because there's no excuses if we get Ryan Giggs in. You know, he was part of, you know, the best set of kids to come out of Manchester United for a long while. Yeah, and played good football. So we'd expect him to play good football and play the kids. And so if we see that's not happening, then we'll see where the problems are, and it's not with the management.
Thank you very much for talking to us, bro. Nice. Alex, it wasn't very good today, was it, matey?
No, but we can take positive. We are challenging. We got that goal, and we're thinking, come on.
You thought we could maybe get back into it after that goal, didn't you?
I thought we get 3-2, and maybe we get equaliser. Anyway.
It just didn't come. That equaliser wasn't going to come, was it? It was a disappointing day today. I mean, look, we're way off the top of the league. Do you think we can still finish in the top 4 though? Thumbs up for that. Can we do that?
I think we might be able to finish like 5th or third.
See, even Alex saying maybe 5th, maybe 4th, maybe, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? You're more hopeful for Champions League, actually, though, aren't you?
See, Ronaldo come back. That's going to be the highlight of the season.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think we'll win the Champions League, but come 5th in the Premier League.
So 5th in the Premier League and win the Champions League, we're going.
I'll be happy with that.
Nice one, Alex.
Some of that. Finish on a positive.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers. What do you make of that? And would you stick with Mourinho?
Well, I thought the team sheet didn't make sense from first of all. I don't know why he started Scott McTominay when he hasn't started the game all season. It didn't make sense at all. I don't know what formation we play. I don't know.
Well, that was like a free.
I was by the front. I don't know what were you at the back? I don't know. But
yeah, I was at the back, but it's clearly a 5 at the back with the 3 and then a 2.
It just doesn't make sense. I know people have been slating Pogba lately, but Pogba was absolutely chronic. He was absolute chronic. Like you said there early in the last interview, I did see when he threw his hands in the air like that, and he didn't see movement, but it looks like player power's winning here, and that's of all the time I've been supporting United, 26 years, player power's won. It would never happen under Ferguson. He did that. Keane did that, and he's shown the door. I don't think Mourinho's strong enough to deal with these players' egos at the moment, and it looks like the dressing room is a bit of unrest at the moment.
Yeah, it does. But with what Pogba said about we should be attacking it,
well, he's right.
And that's what I mean.
He's right. Listen, we've all been to Old Trafford. We've all been off the edge of our seats watching United. If it was with Ronaldo, Giggs, Beckham, we were all with Neville running down the wing. Attack, attack, attack. That's what United.
We're chanting it again today.
Exactly. And United fans are getting restless now. And I'd like your last interview. I think after Valencia, I'd probably say November after Chelsea. If he loses against Chelsea, I think Mourinho could be gone, and that's the worrying thing is because is it deja vu with Mourinho of 3 years now, isn't it?
That's it. The so-called 3-year syndrome. If he does go though, can you see an upturn in change in those players? Do you think that the reason why we're not doing well is because they're not buying into what he's putting down? And if he was to leave, you would actually see a difference, or do you think the players ain't good enough, the recruitment hasn't been good enough, or do you think it's a managerial thing?
Top to bottom, it's schoolboy, isn't it? From Ed Wood. Why would Ed Wood give Mourinho a new contract in January, but won't back him in the summer? You know, where are we going? Where are we going forward? Where are we looking at? We need to be challenging Liverpool and City. That's where we are, and obviously Chelsea. But we're miles behind. We're miles behind. And us United fans need to be realistic to each other and going. We need to wake up, and that's the most worryingest thing, because seeing that today. It was absolutely awful.
You're saying we're miles behind. I've asked everyone the same thing. Is top 4 a myth, or if we can get our skates on and start picking up some results, we can still make it, or do you see it just getting worse?
We got Newcastle and we got Everton and then we got Palace at home. I think the next couple.
Well, no, we got Valencia, then we got Newcastle home games. Yeah.
So you will look at them and go.
But you look at us at Old Trafford at the minute. The pressure playing there. We haven't been playing well. Now we've put in a poor performance away. It's like, where can you see the next win coming from?
Teams come to Old Trafford now and they're not scared of us, and that's the most worrying thing, because you win games in the tunnel. We lose games now, we draw games, and that's the worryingest fact, is that we should be coming to here and blowing these teams out of the park. But we made Mark Noble look like Iniesta today. Declan Rice looked like Sergio Busquets in the middle of the park, and it's just like, why are we? It was just awful, an absolute chronic display. And I just see Mourinho and his hands in his pockets. He doesn't give a shit, mate. You know what I mean? He's on a 17 million year contract. You know what I mean? If we sack him, who are we going to get? Zidane? But Zidane had a worldie of a team, mate. You know, Ronaldo was scoring more than a goal a game. He has one of the best left backs in the world in Marcelo. Had
an unbelievable team. Way miles off from. Yeah.
But we have Smalling, Jones, and Lindelof. You know, he may be a great coach, but he's not a magician, is he? Let's be fair about it. Oh mate, I just don't know what to say. I don't know. Cheers, mate.
Thanks very much. Very disappointing result today. More than disappointing result. I don't know what to say.
Shocking, man. I don't know, man. Do you think we lost before the game?
You look at that lineup. What did you make of it?
There's no width to it, was there? Nothing going on, man. I don't know if it's Mourinho's tactic. Did he think he was going to snatch a 1-0?
Does he need to go?
No, you know me, I back manage always, but I don't know, man. We need to get behind the team, obviously, but performance like that is difficult, isn't it?
That's the thing. We want to get behind the players. We want to get behind the team. We want them to do well. Exactly. But it's like we're looking for that bit of positiveness that it doesn't seem like it's going to come.
I mean, how many shots on target did we have? Did we even test the keeper once, twice? You know, he's very poor, man. Very poor performance. I don't know what's going on, man.
You seem really dejected. I know you're normally Mr. Optimistic, but even we can't defend now.
When Pogba went off, all the fans were clapping. That pissed me off. I couldn't be arsed.
That's what I was going to say.
Pogba, fuck off.
There was a lot of fans saying that today.
I don't believe in stuff like that, man. No chance. It's not on with me.
Where do you stand on that whole Pogba Mourinho thing? What you saw midweek?
I think a load of shit, man. I tell you, media getting behind it. You know how it is, usual.
So, man, it's going to be a long road back to any form of success. Thank you very much, man. Cheers. Awful result today. Would you stick with Mourinho?
I would, but his tactics are not the same as they used to be. I think they're just outdated now, and the players are not performing for him, and I just don't know where the team goes from here, because they could change it around, but I just don't see it happening. What Pogba did today was shocking. He's just the way how he just gave the ball, and then he was just sulking on the pitch, and he wasn't gonna fight for the ball back.
There was a time where I saw him. He threw his hands out in frustration, yeah. But it looked like he looked up. There was no movement. There was nothing for him. Is that a big problem as well, though?
I've got to agree with you. Lukaku, I see on Twitter a lot. The guy's wearing Timberland boots all the time. He is, you know. I was saying to a guy, yeah, I know people were laughing on Arnautovic was linked with us, and he was like, oh, this and that. The geezer's 10 times better than Lukaku.
That's such an interesting point. You know what? It's so interesting because I was thinking that in the stands. I was one of the people in the summer who was going on Arnautovic, yeah, whatever. But
you know what,
look at that now.
40 million would have been bargain for him, you know. The guy links up so well with players.
Causes us problems all game.
The way how he just carved up the defence, and I don't know what Mourinho was smoking, but why would he put McTominay, take Lindelof off and put McTominay as centre-back?
Is that everything that's wrong at the minute? He clearly doesn't trust his centre-backs. We've got square pegs in round holes. The attacking players we're not getting the best out of.
I don't know why he's not giving Bailly a chance. Bailly was, in his first season, in the first few games, he's a beast. Bailly, the guy has no, he just doesn't care. He goes for every tackle. Lindelof, I'll give the guy a chance because he's a season and a bit he's been in the Premier League. Smalling, everyone says he's underrated, but if you see clips of him from last season, the guy can't pass straight. He has to go to sideways. I know he scores the crucial goals, but we just got just got to rebuild.
We're going to make the top 4. Is this season a write-off?
I don't know, man. Honestly, but I mean, I've been keeping this up from Sevilla last year, but if we lose to Valencia at home, I think Mourinho's going to most likely get the sack. He will.
Thank you very much, Joe.